Tamil film star Gautami Tadimalla has written to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, drawing his attention to what she calls unanswered questions about the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister J Jayalalitha's treatment and death. Jayalalithaa died on Monday at the Apollo Hospital a day after she suffered a cardiac arrest. Gautami Tadimalla now joins us live from Chennai. Ma'am, thanks for speaking to NDTV. Now, you've written her demise is all the more tragic and unsettling because of the circumstances of the past few months and the sheer volume of unanswered questions. Why this secrecy and isolation of a beloved public leader and the head of the Tamil Nadu government, whose authority restricted access to the late Chief Minister? Who were the concerned persons making the crucial decisions? Why do you say this was unsettling? What exactly are you referring to?
Hi Neha, it is extremely unsettling because one, her standing as a public figure and her bond with Tamil Nadu people goes way beyond and way before even her political career started. So she's a figure, she's a personality who's dear to a lot of Tamil people in a very personal way. And over and above that, she is a democratically elected public figure. She is the head of the state government, and as such there is a necessity and there is also a right for the people to know how she is doing, what is happening with her, what is her ability, what is her ability to carry out her duties. I mean, the implications of this are many. So there is a necessity and a right of the people to know.
Right. You think people have a right to know about exactly what was going on with their leader? Are you referring to some vested interests who you think didn't want the world to know exactly what was going on while the Chief Minister was in hospital? And who do you think it could be?
I'm so sorry, Neha. I'm so sorry, I lost your voice a bit over there. Could you please repeat that?
Sure. My question is, do you believe that there were some vested interests who didn't want the rest of the world to know exactly what was going on at the time when the Chief Minister was in hospital? And who do you think it could be?
Oh, no. I'm not anywhere near any speculation of that kind. Because speculation or any kind of conclusions can be drawn or arrived at only after one knows some facts. Here there is a complete absence of information. So that is something that would, fulfilling that lack of information would go a long way towards actually helping people come to terms with this loss. Because losing her has been a personal loss for many people on several different fronts. So it's the very lack of basic information about the 75 days.
Right.
And there is also a very strong feeling of, I'm getting this kind of feedback from people across all walks of life and across all sections of, fans, followers and people who are not. And it's very important because the people who have not been vociferous supporters of hers or anyone, they're equally strong about saying we need to know because there is a due process. There's a certain amount of accountability when it comes to a public figure and a democratically elected leader through an overwhelmingly popular vote.
Absolutely.
So when that accountability is something that's missing at that level, what is the recourse that the common man has?
Okay, now
there's a strong sense of insecurity also over there.
Right, now you're talking about a lack of accountability which you say was really visible in this entire case involving the late Chief Minister. But you've also said there was secrecy, lack of transparency. Now who do you think needs to come forward and share with the public exactly what happened? Do you believe Apollo Hospital needs to do that? Do you believe the AIADMK needs to do that? Or do you believe somebody like a Sasikala, who was her closest aide, who was by her side during her last hours, who even performed her last rites, should probably come forward and share more information? Who do you think needs to do that?
That exactly is what is so tragic, because a Chief Minister who has been in the public eye, served as Chief Minister 6th time and a historic, second consecutive term for Tamil Nadu. We don't even know whom to address these questions to. Which is where again this need to know stems from.
All right, ma'am.
See, this is not about pointing fingers, or it's not about laying blame. It's about just needing to know so that we can come to terms with what has happened, understand it, and hopefully kindly arrive at some kind of closure, because that's important for us as a state.
Right, you're saying for closure it is important that the truth, the complete truth comes out. Final question, ma'am. You've written this letter to the Prime Minister. What exactly would you want the Prime Minister to do in this specific case?
I would really love for him to give us the answers that we're all very hungrily waiting for. That would be the ideal response.
Have you heard from the Prime Minister's office yet?
No, not yet. It's been still a very short time, and I have full faith. I have full faith in the processes of my country, and I know that we will hear it, because this is our voice. It's not just mine.
All right. And also, before we let you go, if I could ask you a political question. A lot has also been said about the manner in which the new Chief Minister was sworn in the middle of the night, barely 30 minutes after the Chief Minister is said to have passed away. Many said, what was the great hurry? Now there is a lot of talk about whether we could actually see a power struggle within the AIDMK, with O. Paneerselvam on the one hand being the new Chief Minister, but Sasikala possibly emerging as the other power center in the government and the party. As somebody who lives in Chennai and who feels strongly about what's going on in the state of Tamil Nadu, how do you view these developments?
When these are incidents that have taken place or are taking place, and if any of us feel that there are questions to be asked or points to be raised, it is the right thing for the conscience of everybody to raise those questions. So I am confident, I believe in humanity, I believe in my fellow Indian citizens. When the time comes, if the need arises, the questions will be asked.
All right, and you're certainly hoping that those questions will be answered, but really who's going to come forward and answer those questions remains the big question at this stage. But ma'am, thanks very much for speaking to NDTV and sharing your thoughts with us.